Being winter, I feel it's a great time to go ahead and talk about some winter driving tips for your Tesla. And also, it is quite gloomy out there, so a storm is a brewing, which makes this even a better time to talk about this. Now, one thing I don't think people realize is when you buy a performance Tesla, when you get it delivered, it does not have the correct equipment to be driving in the snow or very cold and icy conditions than if you buy, like, say, an all-wheel drive Tesla. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So when you buy a performance Tesla, it does not come delivered with tires that are acceptable to drive in snow and icy conditions. Performance models actually come delivered with max performance summer tires. And so an example of this is the Performance Model 3. Comes with Pirelli P0 tires, which are a max summer performance tire. Now, if you go onto TireRack.com or anything, and even look it up yourself, which I encourage you to do, if you look up the P0 tires, they feature a special silica and carbon black tread compound, and that compound is not rated for cold conditions, as well as the Pirelli warranty does not cover tires that develop compound cracking due to use in ambient temperatures below 45 degrees Fahrenheit or 7 degrees Celsius. So the P0, like all summer tires, is not intended to be driven in near freezing temperatures through snow or on ice. Now, a lot of people love the performance Teslas. I'm one of them. I have a Performance Model 3 and a Performance Model Y. They are amazing. But I think there's one thing some people should be considering is when you take delivery of your performance Tesla, if you are in a cold climate, having either another set of tires ready to go, even an all season is better than nothing, but even a winter set would be ideal, or even easier to have a whole set of rims with tires and TPS on them so you can easily swap them out between like a summer set and a winter set. And that's actually what I do. So when I picked up this car, it was delivered with the 21-inch Uber turbines, which actually look pretty dope, not gonna lie, but they do come with that max summer performance tire. So I actually swapped out the rims, tires, and everything for a set from T-Sport line. It's their TSS, it looks a lot like the Arachnid wheels do. But I went ahead and got an all-season tire put on those. Reason being, I can run it year-round and not have to worry about it. I can run it in the winter, I can run it in the summer. Now, all season tires aren't exactly the best in the winter, but they're much better than a max summer performance tire. But I do still have those 21-inch Uber turbines for use in the summer. And a lot of that really just boils down to the fact that those performance tires that are on there aren't rated to be used in temperatures under 45 degrees, and especially ice and snow and everything. And out here in Colorado, that's what we get. So I wanted to make sure that I had the best driving conditions possible and went with that all season set. Now in the future, I'm actually probably going to be keeping the TSS and making them more of like my summer tire and keep the all seasons on them. But for the winter, I'll probably pick up another set from T-Sport line, maybe one of their newer varieties, and throw on a winter set of tires. And that way I can just change my tires myself. I'll have TPMS in them and everything. I can just jack up the car real quick, swap my tires in between the seasons. But that way I have better options, because when you are driving a Tesla, you do have all that weight really down low, which is great to have a low center of gravity, really helps driving in snow and icy conditions. But tires can make a huge difference. Now, if you don't want to look at different tires, although I would advise you to do so, you could look at something like chains. Tesla actually sells them on their website. I personally don't like chains because if you look how they mount on those rims, I have a feeling you're going to be getting a lot of scratching on your rims, and I hate that. I don't want my rims curved. I don't want them scratched. I want them looking great, and I think those chains will actually cause a lot of like those scratches and marring and everything. So I don't run chains. I just use a winter or all season tire. Now, some other things to consider in the winter, something like an all-weather floor mat. Now, I have gone with the Tasmanian floor mats in here. I absolutely love them. I'll link them down below if you want to check them out yourself. There's some discount codes down there, so definitely check them out. But I'm super happy with those, and they really help just grab any snow, water, anything that melts off your shoe, so you can keep your carpet underneath looking its best. As well as things like windshield washer fluid. That's going to be something that you'll probably need a lot of, especially here in Colorado. They use mag chloride on the roads, and you kind of get like this film on your windshield. So I've been playing around with some different windshield washer fluid types, and have kind of settled on the Adams Polishes windshield washer fluid. I've been pretty happy with that. And I feel like it has been leaving a lot less streaks than some of the other brands that I have been using. And things even as like an ice scraper. As simple as it sounds, a lot of people actually forget that. I can't tell you how many times I've been out and I've had people go, hey, can I borrow your ice scraper? Well, it's winter, you probably should get your own. But of course, and maybe even like the heated steering wheel cover like we covered before, it makes it so you can have that nice toasty wheel. Now, is Tesla going to be offering the heated steering wheel retrofit on older cars? I don't know, but we will be testing that to find out and let you know in the future. So there are a couple settings that you can change that will actually help your winter driving experience, because a cold battery will reduce regen and acceleration. And while it might not be that big of a difference, it can be noticeable to some. Also keep an eye on the regen and acceleration line. If you see dash marks, that means your battery is cold. And so to reduce things like that, you can schedule your charging so that it will stop when you're leaving. And Tesla now actually has this feature built into the car. Previously, we would always try to map it out and change the start time based on when I'm going to be leaving and how much charge I needed. But now Tesla has that built in, so you can just adjust it right then and there. And that'll make sure your charging finishes when you're getting ready to leave, which means your battery will have already be preconditioned. So you won't have that reduced regen or reduced acceleration, or even if you do, it won't be for very long because your motors will heat up fairly quickly. Other things that you can look at are things like chill mode. That will reduce your acceleration to ensure a steady start and that you don't have any slipping. If you are on a lot of ice or anything like that, it can really help, as well as low regen. This will ensure that when you do let off the accelerator, regen isn't applied as hard. So on ice, it could potentially cause you to slide forward. You won't lose control or anything, but it can kind of feel uneasy. But things you can do to try to avoid stuff like that too are increase your follow distance. Make sure that you're not following too closely. I see that all too much here in Colorado. Our cars will be right on the other car's bumper when there's 6 inches, 12 inches of snow. Increasing that distance will just give you more room to stop or more room to apply any corrective action if you need to. Now, setting your follow distance is really easy. Once you are in drive, you can use your right scroll wheel here, and you can see right down there your follow distance will either increase if you go to the left or decrease if you go to the right. Now, normally I'm about a 4 kind of guy, but during the winter and snowy months, I like to go about 7, just so there's plenty of room between the car in front of me and myself, and really to kind of make it so any snow being kicked up doesn't get stuck on the front of my car. Now, one thing we've had a few occurrences of is ice buildup on the front bumper. Now, this actually caused autopilot to disable, and it won't re-enable until we remove that ice. Now, I have my car covered in paint protection film as well as ceramic coated, so I don't normally have that problem too often, but when I do, I just use the plastic end of my scraper and kind of nudge at it a little bit, and normally it comes right off. But that is one thing to keep in mind, is if autopilot does disable, check your front bumper to see if you might have any buildup of ice. So those are some of the things to really keep in mind to make sure that you can have a good driving experience in the winter in your Tesla. Do you guys have any other tricks or anything that you use? Definitely go ahead and drop them down below if you do, and we can go ahead and talk about it down there. As always though, huge thanks to our channel sponsor, Abstract Ocean. If you guys are looking to accessorize your Model S, X3, or Y, much like this one, definitely check them out, all linked down below, and using code Tesla Inventory will get you 15% off of your first purchase. Our 2 must-have accessories are definitely going to be a center console wrap. For those of you with the previous model center console, it really helps protect that piano gloss black material from getting scratched or marks on it or anything like that. And for those of you with the newer center console, it really helps create your center console your own, as well as protect that OEM finish, as well as a matte screen protector. It really helps cut down any glare from the sun, and thanks to its oleophobic surface, it cuts down fingerprints and makes it super easy to clean, which we love. We want to enjoy the screen and not stare at fingerprints all day. As always though, a thumbs up if you enjoyed that video. Go and click here to subscribe here for some other ones, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.